The void roared around Kaelen, a symphony of shattered realities in cosmic anguish. He was not merely passing through, he was being unmade, his very essence stretched thin, a canvas for the universe's deepest sorrows. The ancient entity's voice, a chilling echo of oblivion, promised a remaking. "You will be the symphony of despair," it boomed, its power a palpable force pressing in on Kaelen's fractured consciousness. Visions assaulted him, worlds collapsing under their own despair, stars weeping, and the silent screams of dying galaxies. This was to be his new purpose, to embody the ultimate cosmic dread. But as the entity's influence intensified, a faint shimmer, barely perceptible, began to coalesce in the fractured void. It was the echo of his shard, the fragment of his being he had painstakingly created. Around it, a ghostly image flickered, the ravaged landscape of his homeworld, a memory he had tried to escape, now a beacon in the encroaching darkness. The shard pulsed, a defiant thrum against the cosmic tide. It was not yet consumed. It was growing. The ancient entity paused, its immense focus momentarily diverted. A nascent force, born of Kaelen's corrupted past and alien present, was asserting itself. This was an anomaly, an unexpected defiance in its grand design of universal despair. The void itself seemed to hold its breath as the entity's attention shifted, a primal curiosity mixed with a nascent anger. The battle for Kaelen's soul, and perhaps for the very fabric of existence, had just begun. He was no longer just prey, he was the nexus of a nascent rebellion. The shard, now a swirling vortex of light and memory, began to reshape the void around it, pushing back against the entity's oppressive power. Kaelen's consciousness, though battered, felt a surge of something akin to hope. He was not alone in this cosmic torment. The entity, sensing the shift, unleashed a wave of pure despair, a torrent of existential dread meant to crush this nascent defiance. But the shard absorbed it, its light intensifying, transforming the despair into a potent, volatile energy. Worlds Kaelen had only glimpsed in his torment began to manifest around the shard, not as visions of ruin, but as swirling potentials, fragments of what could be, if despair was not the final word. The ancient entity recoiled, surprised by this unforeseen resistance. Its voice, once a thunderous pronouncement, now held a note of uncertainty. An echo, a defiance. It whispered, its form in the void rippling. This was not part of the plan. The very concept of resistance was an affront. The entity focused its full attention on the growing anomaly, its power coiling like a cosmic serpent. It would not allow this to continue. It would crush this emergent hope before it could bloom. Kaelen, his awareness now tethered to the shard, felt a new understanding dawn. The lattice had sought to control him, the entity sought to break him, but his own creation, born from his pain and his power, offered a third path. A path of forging, not just enduring. The shard pulsed with a blinding intensity, projecting Kaelen's corrupted memories of his homeworld, but also the alien energy that now flowed through him, intermingling, creating something entirely new. The entity lunged, a vortex of pure negativity, aiming to consume the shard and its nascent will. But the shard met the attack, not with defense, but with an explosion of paradoxical energy, despair interwoven with a fierce, alien will to survive. The void fractured further, not from the entity's power, but from this new, volatile force. Kaelen saw, for a fleeting moment, not a universe of despair, but a universe of infinite, terrifying possibilities. The entity shrieked, a sound that tore through the fabric of reality itself. It was being pushed back, its dominion challenged by an entity it had never accounted for, Kaelen, or rather, what Kaelen was becoming. But as the shard's light reached its zenith, a new vision flashed before Kaelen's eyes, not of his homeworld, nor of alien realms, but of a single, desolate planet under a sky of perpetual twilight. And standing on its surface, a figure cloaked in shadows, observing the unfolding cosmic struggle with an unnerving stillness. This figure was not the lattice, nor the ancient entity. It was something else entirely. Something that had been watching, waiting. The entity's attack faltered, its focus split between the defiant shard and this new, unseen presence. The shard pulsed one last time, a final, defiant act, before the unstable rift it had created collapsed inwards, pulling Kaelen, the shard, and a fragment of the fractured void into an unknown destination. The ancient entity was left alone, its grand design shattered, its power diminished, its victory snatched away by an anomaly it could not comprehend. But the shadowed figure remained, its silent gaze fixed on the point where Kaelen had vanished. The universe had not yet known true despair. But it had also not yet known what Kaelen, remade by defiance, might unleash. The true struggle had just begun. And the figure on the desolate planet, it smiled. A slow, chilling smile that promised a fate far worse than despair. The void was no longer empty. It was waiting.